Hello, I'm James Helder and welcome to a very special episode of the transfer edition of our Not For The News. Same but different. Some news and opinions and views from the lads on what's going on currently. I'm quite excited. Firstly, good to have you with us, boys. What's happening? You all good?
All good, mate.
Ready. All good.
Love that.
All good. Ready.
Love that. Let's look at some of the biggest transfers that are going on at the moment. We've seen Erling Haaland will join Manchester City. Confirmed, done deal. What's your initial reaction to that transfer, Curtis?
Interested in it. I think we spoke here before about I'm not a big fan of that Bundesliga. I won't call it a pub league or farmers league. It's better than that, but it's not great. It's not as good as the Premier League. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in the Premier League. I mean, everything tells me that he's going to smash it, but I won't be surprised if he didn't either because, like I said, I don't rate that league. I think it's poor. But listen, if I played up front for Man City, I think I'm getting 15 a season right now because they create so many chances. It's ridiculous. And he is a finisher, to be fair. He's going to smash it. It's a great signing, and they've got him for peanuts, really.
Nighty, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, like Curtis saying, the chances they create, half-decent striker, 20 goals a season. Do you know what I mean? They could have bought someone in from Brentford. No disrespect to Brentford, but I'm just saying because they just came up last season. They could have bought someone in from Brentford, Norwich, anyone, and they stick him up there. Things are on the plate for you up there. Just got to finish your dinner, really. So,
do you think he's the missing piece for that Champions League winning squad that Pep Guardiola's been after?
If I'm looking at it, I'm saying they needed a striker in general. So, like I just now said, it wouldn't really matter what striker they've got up there, to be honest. As long as he's a half-decent finisher, he's going to get the chances. He'll get 3-4 chances a game. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think if he gets less than 30 goals, something's wrong. I think he could be the real difference because you watch a lot of Man City games that dominate and they haven't had that person that is going to get 30 goals a season. If he is that man, then it takes him to another level. Then it's quite scary, really.
I mean, I'm interested to see how he's going to do, to be fair, because like I said on a previous show, and like Curtis just said there, I'm not really oh, shit, someone's at my door. One sec.
What do you think then, Curtis? I know you're not completely sold on him. I think he's going to absolutely rip the league up.
I'm not saying I'm not sold on him because every time I've seen him play, he's played well. And he looks like a player. I'm just saying I'm not sold on the level that he's actually been banging him in at, i.e. the Bundesliga. But then you could say to me, well, he's smashed him in the Champions League as well. But again, you get a lot of poor teams in the Champions League. But yeah, every time I've seen him, he looks a player. Can't lie. But my only doubt is that league's poor. So is he a bit of a flat track bully, a really good player in an average league? He comes over here. Let's see. I think he'll smash it. I think he'll get 30 plus goals next season.
I mean, if you're just looking at Man City in general, then like I said, you bring in a striker that's half decently finishing, and you got your last piece of the puzzle.
Now, with Erling Haaland arriving at Man City, that means that someone's going to be surplus to requirements. It looks like it's going to be Gabriel Jesus. He's been linked with a move to Arsenal, potentially. Good fit for Arsenal? Do you think that's a good purchase, Nighty? What's your initial reaction to that?
I wouldn't take him, to be honest. Not for Arsenal. They need a proper number 9 striker, I feel. So he's not that proper number 9. I mean, he plays out on the wide sometimes, and do you know what I mean? I don't think he's that striker, he ain't that forward that Arsenal need. Do you get what I'm saying? I just don't think, I mean, bloody hell. I wouldn't take him. I'll go for someone else.
Would you take Dominic Calvert-Lewin over him?
Yeah. Just as a number 9, like, do you know what I mean? Just as like a striker.
I hear you. I look at the Arsenal players and I think they've got pace and that out wide.
Yeah.
get a lot of balls into the box. I think they need someone who's going to pin it all together. And I agree. I don't think Jesus is that player. I agree. I think they need someone who's going to hold it up, bring others into the game, and get on the end of crosses.
Yeah,
I don't think Jesus is that man.
Just like Arsenal play a different way. So, you know, they got Saka, they've got Smith Rowe. Who else they got out there? They've, you know, Martinelli. They're flying up the wings, but you need someone to connect that all in. And when the balls are getting whipped in from wide, you need someone in the box. That's our problem. Like, we ain't got no one in the box with that instinct to say, okay, my job is just to link up play, and then when the balls get wide, in the box.
I think you look at them Arsenal players in the squad. They've got a lot of runners, so a lot of players run. And sometimes when you've got a lot of runners, you need someone to stand still and have someone to bounce it off. And I think that's why they need not a target man, but they need like a number 9, like you said. Like I know we're using Dominic Calvert-Lewin here as an example, but that type of presence of a 6'1", 6'2", powerful guy that can pin defenders, so you can bounce it into him and then have the runners behind. The ball comes in the box, get across the front, get your head on it. I think they need that type of player. I don't think Jesus is a good signing. I don't think he's all that as a player anyway. I think I don't think he gets 15 goals next season if he went to Arsenal. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin would.
He don't get 15 goals because he's not naturally a centre forward. It's not natural. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Man City kind of tried to enroll him in that position in the last half of the season.
Yeah,
last 10 season.
They need like a Cavani, that type of Ruud van Nistelrooy. You know, a number 9. I agree. I think Jesus is a 9/7/11. You can play anywhere across that front 3, but he's not. I agree. I don't think he's a natural finisher. I don't think he's a natural number 9.
What makes it more imperative that Arsenal get this right is obviously Alexander Lacazette's left the club now on a free Bosman. So again, Arsenal are now left with Eddie Nikita, who's just signed his new deal. He'll be getting some games next season. It means that signing that striker and getting at that position and that player right is imperative for Arsenal.
Yeah, it's crucial. I mean, I'm an Arsenal supporter. It's crucial that we get that right. And throughout the years, we've always had, players up front that can finish. And over the last couple of years, we had a Bamford, and it all started off well. And he did score goals. Don't get me wrong, but still, I would say that I don't think he was that number 9. He can come from the wide and stuff. He's not that player that's going to link play, hold it up, back in, dart across the box, flipping, flick-ons for, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka and stuff. He wasn't that kind of way. It was all like, you got to thread him through and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I just think
it makes you wonder why they got rid of Giroud, innit? Giroud never got a fair crack of the whip.
Listen, I'm a person that I'd admit if I was wrong in talking football and stuff and whatever. And I was one of them who was saying get rid of Giroud. But honestly, we could have done with him over the last couple of years, mate.
Yeah,
we could have. Look where he's gone. He went to Chelsea, done things. He's gone to AC Milan, done things. Like, do you know what I mean? We really could have done something with him.
Do you know what I think fits the mould for Arsenal? Luka Jovic at Real Madrid. Played 17, 18 games last season, mostly from the bench, just won the Champions League. In that Giroud mould, fits it perfectly. I think he'd be a great signing for Arsenal.
Yeah, but are they going to let him go?
Don't play.
Yeah, but still, are they going to let him go?
I suppose they've got Benzema. He's getting old, isn't he?
This is what I'm trying to say.
He's probably one that you would want to keep hold of.
Interesting.
I'd get Dominic Calvert-Lewin, mate. I think he'd be a really good signing. The only problem with him is He's not had a great injury record lately,
Yeah.
and he's going to be really expensive.
English players come at a massive premium. You guys know this. Look at some of the transfer fees for English players compared to European and South American players. Is there value for money in the English market still?
No, they ain't. They're an extra 30 million quid than what they should be, I suppose. But it is what it is. If you want someone, sometimes you gotta pay the money.
While we're on the subject of money and Man City and Arsenal, we've seen Bukayo Saka has been linked with Manchester City, as is right, I guess, for a big spending club like City and a player like Saka. What are your thoughts on that initially, Nighty?
I think they need him. How old's Sterling? 29, 28?
There has been murmurs that Sterling could go this summer.
But why would you? I wouldn't get rid of Sterling for Saka.
Yeah, even Mahrez, who plays on that right.
Yeah.
Mahrez is a player.
Grealish, Mahrez, Sterling. I won't get rid of any of them. Saka's not better than any of them. I mean, Grealish has had like a little bit part play, and he probably ain't lived up to, his price tag and stuff. But I won't get rid of him for Saka. I won't get rid of Mahrez for Saka. I won't get rid of Sterling for Saka. No chance.
Do you think Sterling's underrated and underappreciated?
Yeah, 100%. His record's ridiculous when you look at it. And I'm not even a big Sterling fan either. Sometimes he frustrates the life out of me sometimes. But when you actually look at his numbers on paper, it's ridiculous, really. And he is underappreciated and undervalued by probably people
100%.
like me. I always feel like I always want a little bit more from him, but he scores big goals at big times. He's a player. Very, very difficult to replace someone like him.
This is
got great temperament. Like you said, he gets important goals.
It'd be interesting. Someone like him, I think, would be an interesting signing for Arsenal. Again, another winger to fit in.
Arsenal could not afford him, and he would not go Arsenal.
He go to Arsenal. No chance.
While we're on the subject,
go to Arsenal.
While we're on the subject,
Arsenal. I know, Knight, you're an Arsenal fan. I know that. So, but I think Arsenal are in a really difficult position at the minute regarding recruitment, because you're only going to Arsenal if no one really wants you. That's one of the big boys. That's the market you're in at the minute. So you probably need to get a little bit lucky with someone like Ivan Toney. Can he make that step up? Or someone who's just on the fringes of it. That's kind of where they are, isn't it? What about your man that's at Roma, who was at Chelsea?
Tammy Abraham.
What about him? Yeah,
perfect fit. Fits
I
as a
don't know.
rude mold. He's had a great season for Roma under the special one, Mourinho.
I mean, can he do it in the Premier League? Right? Really?
I think he can.
I think he has done it. And, when Frank gave him a decent run, he scored goals. He did well then. I think if you're looking for actual possibilities of who Arsenal could get, I think you're always going to have a question mark against them because they can't go out and get the big boys.
Yeah,
I'd take a punt on Tammy. I like him. I think he's got a lot of really good attributes. Seems a bit erratic in front of goals sometimes, but I do like him. And he's young. He's only getting better, isn't he?
Now, while we're on the subject of...
I know what you mean, but I'd think that Arsenal's got a bit more about them than having to get a player like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
You're stuck in the 90s, mate.
Mate, listen, honestly. Listen, as I know James is an Arsenal fan as well, and it is just complete and utter stress, mate, honestly.
This is why I was trying to move it on, Nighty. I'm struggling with things in a minute. I'm just taking it in.
It's not about, because obviously it's about progression, isn't it? And we just haven't progressed at all, mate. Honestly, in all fairness, we've gone back years.
To be fair though, I do like where Arsenal are right now. They've got rid of a lot of dead wood. They've got a nucleus there of a good side, but they do probably need 3 or 4 top players. 3 players probably come into that starting 11 that are going to really, really hit the ground running and improve them. Centre forward is definitely one.
And where else are you saying?
Midfield. You know what? I'd go and get that Basuma from Brighton. I've watched him play live a few times. Every time I've seen him play, he's been the best player on the park. And he's got that Arsenal DNA of dominating the midfield. When I think of Arsenal midfielders, you think Petit, Vieira. That's what you think. And I think he could be that.
Well, it's reported that they're after the Leicester midfield player. What's his name?
Oh, Tielemans.
He's
a player.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say.
It's been the longest bit of speculation, though, isn't it? Forever since the window, last sort of month of the window before it opened, people were talking about Arsenal and Tielemans. Doesn't seem to be making any progress.
Yeah, but I feel like they've got to just kind of like get it done. Really, there's always ways of getting a deal done, mate. Honestly.
Yeah, I like that Tielemans. I think he's a really, really good player.
He is. Yuri Tielemans is a great player. I think he's gone stale a little bit at Leicester. He really needs that move. As someone that.
Who did we bring in? Partey to try and bolster up the things, and he ain't really lived up. He's had injuries and stuff and whatever. But I think we've got to bring in someone else, definitely in the midfield, definitely up front, and even I think we need a right back as well. We're shocked down our right hand side defensively is shocking, mate.
Who's the right back? Is he the Japanese guy that you've got?
Tomiyasu.
I know, but
Tomiyasu.
He's not the one.
He's decent, mate.
Yeah,
he's decent.
No, he is decent. He is decent, but is he going to be the one that's like holding down that position? He's had a few injuries as well. He had to come off end of last season as well after coming back. Do you know what I mean?
And left back. You need a left back because your man can't keep fit. The Scottish guy.
Tierney, yeah.
Who's the other imposter that played a couple of games and got ruined at left back? Who's he?
Tavares.
Oh, jeez. Like a ticking time bomb, him.
Yeah, he don't look ready. He's only young, isn't he? But he don't look ready. I mean, if you go and put Tielemans, Basuma, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the Arsenal team, all of a sudden, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What about Lamptey as well from Brighton? I really like that Lamptey, mate. I don't know why no one's kind of taken a go on him. Young, explosive. I really like him.
I think England dropped the ball a little bit, letting him change nations.
Yeah,
I think he's a very important, good player. Could definitely do a job.
Yeah. Would he get in the England team though? You look at the amount of right backs England have got to choose from. It's ridiculous, really.
Yeah, I know. Over flooded on that side, isn't it?
A lot of speculation regarding Darwin Nunez. Big transfer target for Manchester United. I'm hearing Liverpool have got their tentacles in. What are your thoughts on that? If you had the choice currently between Manchester United and Liverpool, and you're Darwin Nunez, what decision do you make?
Liverpool. It's not even a question, is it? Really? It's not even. It's not. As big as Man United are and stuff. The situation they're in at the moment. And I can't really see much changing unless they've got so many players to get out of there.
Yeah.
Has Pogba gone yet?
I was just going to come on to this. This is our next topic of conversation. Is Pogba.
Okay, well, like obviously Nunez, I'm going Liverpool all day, every day.
Yeah. If you're centre forward as well, and he is kind of that number 9, isn't he? What is it, 6'2"? He's athletic, good player. You must be licking your lips in that Liverpool team. I like what Klopp's doing. He looks like he's kind of phasing out the old guard of Mane, Salah, Firmino, and he's replacing them already with kind of Diaz. Your man that he got from, was it Jota?
Jota, yeah.
And William, he signed Carvalho from Fulham.
Yeah, from Fulham, player. Yeah.
Real player.
And they'll be a force again next season, mate.
Yeah, no, I like what Klopp's doing. He kind of always seems to be 2 or 3 years thinking ahead.
Yeah, he's always on.
Yeah, I like that. Going back to Man United are in a similar situation to what Arsenal were a few years ago, where the club's in a bit of a mess, and it's not really about who you bring in; it's about who you get out.
Yeah,
Man United got so much dead wood, so many problems in that dressing room. It needs gutting, really. I think they've got to give the new manager time. Man United are not going to win the league in the next 5 years. No way. Can't see it. But Man United are Man United. They're a huge club, so they are always going to be able to, if Man United ring you up, you're listening to the conversation, aren't you?
100%.
Paul Pogba leaving or set to leave Manchester United on a free Bosman for the second time in his career. 100 million down the drain, not to mention signing on fees and wages. Is that the biggest financial flop of a transfer for a club in the Premier League history?
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to look at Lukaku as well.
Yeah.
But it's horrible, isn't it?
It's the worst bit of business ever, isn't it?
Horrible, mate. Horrible.
You let him go on a free, you buy him back for 90 million, then let him go on a free again. Wow. I mean, in any other business, heads are rolling. You're losing your job for shit like that.
Everybody's getting sacked.
Everybody.
Anyone that was involved or co-signed, they're getting sacked. Everyone. That could never happen in another business. Never.
Yeah.
Do you mind the audacity?
It's one of those things when you go into a room and the people that have been involved in that transfer, like everyone looks at each other, no one says a word.
Not one word.
Wow, we have dropped the ball.
Honestly.
Do you admire the audacity of Paul Pogba to do that twice and have the guile and I suppose business nous, because he's going to get a better contract now than if he was, say, sold as out of surplus player or a player leaving the club. He's now on a free Bosman. He's getting massive wages, massive signing on fee again. Yeah,
but we spoke a couple of weeks back, didn't we, about loyalty and things like that in football. They ain't none. There's none. You know, look how he's been treated by the media over here, by the actual club itself. He's been treated like dirt, really. So why should he have any loyalty towards them? Exactly. They don't care about him. Why should he care about them? You know, I don't get all that. Look after number one in sport. I always say that, and I know sometimes it sounds a little bit callous, but it is what it is. Look after number one, because when you're retired, no one rings you up, no one cares. So make sure you and your family are secure. Do that by any means necessary. Especially in football as well. Yeah.
I'll ring you both up all the time. I'll ring you up, Woodchuck, singing songs. So all this, no one phones you when you retire nonsense. I don't want to be hearing all that. Do you know what I mean?
You always want something from me, though.
It's true.
You start with a song. You start with a song, and then I know it's like, hey, Woodchuck, can you do this? I know you're getting.
Might be true. Might be slightly true. Slightly true. While we're on the subject of loyalty, I want to talk a little bit about Sadio Mane. Been quite a loyal servant to Liverpool since he joined from Southampton. He's been part of the original trio and revolution of Klopp's Gegenpress. Right time for him to leave Liverpool, or do you think he should be staying at the club looking to crack on and bring that Premier League crown back to Anfield next season? What are your thoughts on it?
Me personally, I think it's great business all round. So I think you look at Diaz, who's coming up behind Mane on that left-hand side. I think Diaz is going to have an incredible impact at the football club. Mane's been an unbelievable signing. Pound for pound, probably one of the best signings Liverpool have ever made. Done brilliant. Will leave a legend. But I think if he stays, he'll end up being a bit of a bit part player. In and out of the squad, and I don't think he wants that. And he probably deserves a little bit better. I think it's a great move all around.
How old is he?
30?
Got to be 29, I think. Let me have a quick look.
Even that, like, do you know what I mean? Even if he's 30, like, you ain't finished, are you?
Oh, no. I
he's 30. Yeah, he's 30.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the art of management is maybe selling players at the right time. Not when they're done, but maybe as they're just starting to go over the hill, right? Because the other option now is give him a 3-year deal, and then you end up with him on big dough at 34, where his legs have gone. You can't get rid of him then.
But I think he keeps himself in, great shape. He's not one of them. Do you know what I mean? He took over from Salah at ending of the season, because when Salah the goals kind of not dried up and they weren't coming as frequent as they was, he stepped up to the plate, and I thought he had a good last end of the season. So I'd keep him, man. I'd get rid of Nino. I'll even go as far as saying, I'd try and, ship Jota out, and I'll keep Salah, Diaz, the new one who's coming in, that possibly could come in, and then you got Mane. Oh, mate, unbelievable front players there.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Liverpool's front three, say they sell Sadio Mane, so they sell him. They've got Diaz, they've got Salah, they've got Nunez, who's coming in. You've got your man from that they just signed from Fulham as well. You've got Jota. I get rid of Bobby Firmino. I think his time's done. But they've still got a real good squad depth there. And also as well, them ones that I've all mentioned there, they're all, apart from Salah, they're all under 25 years of age.
Yeah, but they're also not
tested,
proven.
Yeah.
In the Premier League. Now you got Mane and you got Salah.
Who's this Mane you keep talking about?
I'm asking him this. I didn't want to point it out. I didn't want to be rude.
Sorry.
Mane.
Sorry. Sadio Mane. I don't know. Man.
Maned him off.
Sadio Mane, yeah. You got Mane, who's proven. You know he's going to get goals. You got Salah. He's going to get goals. You know he's going to get goals. And then you got Diaz, who's still yet to, even though we've seen bits and parts of him and he's been brilliant. He brings so much.
He looks magical, doesn't he? Let's be honest.
So much energy and stuff. You got Jota, who's also, what means going along this line, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I agree. I think if they do get rid of Mane, then they're losing a top player. There's no doubt about it.
That's what I'm trying to say. And it's not like Mane's finished.
No, you could argue that he's at the peak of his career.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if he goes Bayern Munich and they win the Champions League, could be look to be a bad decision. You know, they're always thereabouts, aren't they? Out there, they're doing things.
And you know what? As well, he might want to go.
Yeah.
So you cash in now, or you wait for him to run his contract out. That might be the only options you've got.
One player that has been speculated a little bit is Marcus Rashford. Will the new manager fit into the system? Is he due a new chance, a new challenge, shall we say? Tottenham Hotspurs have been linked with him. I don't know how fruitful that will be. What are your thoughts on Marcus Rashford?
I want to know what Curtis says about this.
I think Rashford's shot to pieces. I don't know what's happened to him. I was actually at Marcus Rashford's debut. I took my eldest son to watch a Man United game. It was in the UEFA Cup, and Martial went down injured in the warm-up. So Rashford ended up playing. It was his first start. I think he got 2 or he got a hat-trick, and he looked unbelievable. And I don't know what's happened, because somewhere along the line, a good player with unbelievable potential is gone. He looks completely devoid of confidence. He looks completely shot to pieces. And I think Man United need to cut him loose. I really do. And I would not have thought that if you'd have told me that 2 years ago or whenever. I actually, one of my worst predictions ever, I said Rashford is going to be better than Mbappe when he first burst on the scene. I know, honestly, I had to deactivate my Twitter account. And I honestly thought he had everything. Pace, power, he had desire, he was a good finisher. And for somewhere along the way, he's completely lost his way.
And I don't know where it's come as well. You ain't heard no. Do you know what I mean? He's been injured. Yeah, okay. He's been left on the bench and all that. But like you say, he was one of the best players coming through at United at one point, and now he don't even look like he wants to play.
Yeah, I can't remember what game it was I watched on TV. One of the games towards the back end of the season, and he didn't try a leg.
Yeah,
he did not try. He wasn't running. He was walking around. It was shocking viewing, really, as if he was just basically saying, I can't be arsed with this. It looks like to me from the outside looking in that he's had a massive bust up with the club and he don't want to be there because he's not even trying. No matter how bad things are going, you can always run around with a bit of desire. And, I used to have managers used to say to me, job one is to put some sweat on your shirt.
Yeah.
And he's not even trying, which is shocking. For me, I'd cut him loose. I'd get rid of him. And I think Tottenham would be a good move for him, revitalise him. And Conte won't put up with that nonsense of walking around.
I'm going to say that because of his outstanding charity work in the country, because of his fantastic PR team as well, does that make it harder for a club like Manchester United to move him in particular out?
Well, it's
think
what
he
you
has
do.
to leave on his own terms for that to work.
This is probably the predicament that Man United are in, and why they're in the position that they're in, because you got to base it on what you're doing on the pitch. You can't base it on if you're feeding kids, which is, listen, unbelievable. Don't get me wrong and whatever, but let's put it down to your bread and butter. It's what you do on the pitch, and what you're doing for that shirt and the club and stuff. And at the moment, he's not doing it. He don't even look like he wants to do it. It's the best flipping profession, in my opinion, in the world. Mm-hmm. And you're getting paid a ton of money. You're out there in front of 80,000 a week. And, you're playing for Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And you're actually, not everybody's wrong. And everybody's saying the same thing. He just looks like he is not us. He don't want to be there. He's not running. Like Curtis said, I've seen clips of him towards the end of the season, and even before towards the end of the season. Balls that you could have reached that was going off for a goal kick or whatever. He was just letting them go. He weren't running. He weren't like, they've had that desire to, do something for the club. His players, the players, his teammates, himself.
Just down. It looks like he's down tools, and you know what? As well, he's got away with murder regarding the people that are commentating on the games. They do the after show analysis. No one brings it up really. Imagine if that's Paul Pogba doing that. They're spending the full 2 hours slagging him off. But because of what he's done outside of football, he's been given a free pass. But if I was playing alongside him, and you see someone walking around like that won't be accepted in the dressing room. When people start talking about the Man United dressing rooms have loads of bad apples, I wouldn't have thought that Rashford was one of them. But the more I see now, his actions show that he probably is one of them bad apples. So get rid of him, because he's not even trying.
Yeah, and there's no one in that squad. There's not a Gary Neville. There's not a Roy Keane. There's no one in that, Gary Pallister, Steve Bruce, Dennis Irwin. There's no one in there to say, "Oi, you better start pulling your weight." There's no one there, because they're basically all on his wavelength. They're not really pulling their weight, putting in a shift for the club or their teammates, and it's just spreading through the club, to be honest.
But he's not stupid, Rashford, is he? He knows he's not trying a leg. He knows, and they'll have all the analysis and everything, all his running stats. They'll have all that, and he'll know he's not stupid. There's a real problem there with him, a real problem.
And regardless of how social media players talk about social media, and they're not on it, and they don't read their comments. Some of them say that or whatever. He'll be reading them,
yeah, and
he'll be seeing what people are saying. And he will know within himself, like Curtis says, he's not trying. He's looking around and, his head's down and he's just moping around, really. Do you know what I mean? I can't believe they ain't got rid of him already, to be honest.
Yeah. Where does he go, though? Who takes him? Like you said, you're probably looking at an Arsenal, a Tottenham, a West Ham. That's where he's at these days. That's
West Ham, that sort of, do you know what I mean?
But then are they going to pay his wages? What's the 150 grand a week?
I tell you now, these clubs that you mentioned are not going to take someone walking around the pitch.
No way.
Like, if you're coming to improve their current squad, look at West Ham, for instance. They've got one of the most underrated, hard-working forwards in the game, in Mikel Antonio. Can play anywhere, puts it all on the pitch. He's not going to have Rashford coming on, walking about, not putting in the mileage. It's just, it's not. You're not going to get away with that at a smaller club. A hard-working team, they're just not going to have it. They're not going to lay out big money for a striker just to come and do what he wants.
He needs to sort his shit out, doesn't
he? Yeah, he does. He does.
Would you sell him? I'd sell him. I'd cut him loose.
This is the problem the club have got, though. Is it worth more of a PR disaster to sell Rashford then to keep him happy on a...
Well, no, because he's not doing it though, is he? So everyone knows that they're selling someone who's not even trying. So it is what it is.
It's interesting,
I think
isn't
good
it?
management, strong management. You know, if you're coming in as a new manager, you're stamping your authority. Marcus Rashford, off you go, mate.
Yeah,
Do you think Raheem Sterling would have got away with the levels of performance of Marcus Rashford?
No chance. Not with that AK-47 on his flipping calf. No chance, mate.
Yeah. Imagine Gary Neville would be digging him out left, right, and centre on that Monday night stuff. They've hardly said anything about Rashford.
Why though? Why does he not carry the same weight of criticism for performance as the other Manchester United players?
Because of what he's done outside of the game, isn't it? You know, with the, like I said, feeding the kids and making a big impact on a social level. It's giving him a free pass of what's happening on the pitch.
Interesting. Which is outrageous, to be honest.
Yeah.
I see the good and bad of both of it.
You could feed 1 trillion kids if you're not doing it on the pitch.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Yeah. Judge what happened on the pitch, and it's like I said, we're all in agreement. What he's done's amazing.
Completely.
But 3 o'clock, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't care about feeding kids at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon or 7:45 on a Tuesday night, and all that should be on your mind is getting 3 points, and at the worst, a draw.
Yeah. We mentioned Carvalho leaving Fulham, Championship winning side, to go and join Liverpool. We've also seen some rumours of Sander Berge leaving Sheffield United. They bought him in for a big price tag, Sander Berge. I thought he'd already been off, if I'm being brutally honest. Is Sander Berge good value for money for a Premier League club to come and swoop in on? What are your thoughts, Woodhouse?
Yeah, I think it'd be a really good signing. And you know what, as well, when we talk about midfielders, I think, Arsenal. I think he'd be a good signing for Arsenal. You know, he's a big old dude. What is he, 6'4"? He's a powerful runner. The problem is that at Sheffield United is he's been stop-start with injuries. He's never really put a run together. But when he's fit and he's on his game, he's the best midfielder in that championship, and he's a proper athlete. I think it'd be a really, really good signing for someone like Arsenal to have in and around the squad. You talk about Partey being injured quite a lot. I don't think Partey is much better, if better at all, than Sander Berge. I think Sander Berge, with better players around him, will be a really, really good signing. I think he's got a release clause for 25 million, hasn't he?
Yes. When they signed Aaron Ramsdale, I thought that they would be doing a deal for Sander Berge. He's been on the radar for Arsenal for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the injuries have been the thing that's stopped.
And that's the only thing that will stop me from, going in for him and saying, yeah, we're going to swoop him up, because you can't buy a player and, injury after injury and stuff. And, he's out for months on end, or, you just can't do it. It's in today's game, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't. You know what? We've had the same with Partey. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think it'd be a really good sign. 25 million now for a good midfielder is peanuts.
Yeah. It is.
It'd be good for someone. It reminds me of someone like, he's probably, he is technically better, but someone like that Souček at West Ham, that's a real powerful presence in the middle of the park. And I can't think the last time Arsenal kind of had that. Emmanuel Petit. It reminds me of that type of player, but he's got a hell of a lot on the ball. He's good on the ball. He can drive forward. He can go past players. He's a good player, mate. I think it'd be a really good signing.
How long was he out with injury?
He's had a few where it stop-starts, a couple of months here. I think he did ankle ligaments, then his knee, and then it was like, oh, come on, he never got a run. He'd be back for 10 games, but it takes you 5 to get up and running. Yeah. Then he'd hit form and then get injured again. It was like, wow. Yeah, never really got a run.
As much as I agree with you and saying, he could fit into Arsenal and stuff.
Different leagues, though. They're somewhat much more physical in that championship. Get a bit more time on the ball in the Premier League, believe it or not.
True. His game could be suited for the Prem.
Yeah. Like I say, it's just the injury record, isn't it? But he is a player.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, gentlemen, I've got to say it's great to discuss some of the transfers and chew the fat with you a little bit.
I thought we was going to do the old Declan Rice and the price tag and stuff.
You want to do some Declan Rice price tag stuff?
just well, I just wanted to say, do you reckon is he worth the 130 mil that he's getting tagged around with?
Oh, whoa! You're paying me for the hour. What's going on here?
All right, cool. We'll pick it up.
I invoiced for the hour.
All right, we'll pick it up.
No, before you go,
for Declan Rice, 130 mil. That's a lot of money.
Calvin Phillips for 40 mil, Declan Rice for 130.
Yeah.
Difference.
Well, I think putting that price tag on Declan Rice is just basically saying he's not for sale.
Yeah.
Not down anywhere, yeah.
Yeah. I like him as well.
Has he signed his 22-year deal? Has he gone through? There was a bit of a long contract offered to him. West Ham.
On the same deal as what Pardew had.
I think he's been fantastic this season. He's been a proper player for West Ham.
Yeah.
And if he does go, I think the fans will kind of accept it as well. He's put in more than a shift.
Yeah, but not 130 mil, bro. Flipping. Oh, come on, man. Jesus.
Would you value him at? Realistically? Today's market, not your market.
70?
70.
Yeah, I was going to say 78 is about where he's at. Putting that 130 on, it just wipes out anyone really trying to buy him, doesn't it? But you know what? I think he's a proper player. He's a good all-round player. Can do a bit of everything.
Well, with Fabinho retiring or leaving Man City, leaving Liverpool rather, leaves an option for them needing that type of player.
Can we just talk about Jude Bellingham, by the way?
Player.
Mate, this kid, every time I've seen him, he looks special. And just when you mentioned Liverpool there, I think he looks like a real Liverpool player. I think Jurgen Klopp would be brilliant with someone like Bellingham.
I think that Klopp will get him, you know?
Yeah, I do.
That would be a signing. What a player that boy is.
Yeah, I think Klopp will get him. But like we said, I'm invoicing by the hour. Yeah.
Mate, 90's invoice went in probably before we started the show.
I'm sending it. Listen, my invoice, the hour.
It's ruthless. If you don't pay him within instantly as well, you get little memes of his own head sent to you. Bizarre. All right, gents, thank you very much for your time today. It's been fantastic.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, guys.
Catching up soon. Thank you.